Hi, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, and today we're going to look at the Obsession HB33. It's new for 2019 from Obsession Archery. Now, Obsession Archery is based in a small town in America. It's a small town called Jeffersonville. It's got a population of about 1,000 people, and they're very passionate about these bows they produce. It's a very rural location just west of Atlanta, and the people speak very Southern American. But they were very passionate about it in their video when I was watching it about this bow and about Obsession Archery. Now, this bow is a standout to me. It was the first bow I picked of the 2019 bows to review because of the price point. This bow is priced at $600 American, putting it above beginner level, but still in that medium price point bow, not at the top end. The weight of the bow is 3.7 pounds, but it feels lighter than 3.7, so I just want to weigh that. Now, at $600 US, this bow is priced right against the PSE Epics. And it has all the features that you'd expect of the top line bows. So I'm just going to check this on a scale. If I didn't have it in kilograms, it would probably help. So that's coming in with a sight and arrow rest on at 4.1 pounds. Now, I think when I did the PSE Epics, it came in at 4.3 with the sight and the arrow rest. So this is a light bow. Now, it's got a machine limb pocket here. The Epics has a plastic limb pocket. It's got rotating modules, top and bottom, to adjust the draw length from, and it's not written on here, so I'm going to go from memory, from 25 to 30 inches in draw length from memory. It's got a limb stop here. The limbs are the standard limbs you'll see on all bows. These are just a Gordon glass compression limb. This little thing is nice for winding the bow in and out, so it basically doesn't jam when you're winding it in and out. This is a nice bow and it feels really nice. The finish on it is a fusion process, which is what you'll find on the top line, well, now PSEs, the primes, the elites. So this is like a fusion process into the metal, and it looks really nice. It comes in a whole bunch of finishes. It's got a standard metal cable guard, so not flexible, standard cable slide. It doesn't feature the famous Obsession limb saver. These have got the normal limb savers from obviously Limb Saver and the limbs. I'm going to say probably the Obsession ones look better, but they are more expensive, and this is priced at a budget bow. But this bow with the wood hand grips, it looks nice. Now, there is no lower rear stabilizer position, so if you're going to fit a rear stabilizer, it's going to be straight off the stabilizer position. But this bow, to me, it's priced at about $100 US, under the Turmoil, which for me was a popular selling bow. Now, in Australia, this is going to be priced over the Epics, and you're going to say, why is this more expensive than the Epics? Because I get cheaper freight from PSE than I do from Obsession, due to the bulk discounts PSE can drive from like UPS and FedEx. And obviously, Obsession being a smaller company, they don't get the same discounts on freight that a big company like PSE get. So basically, this bow is costing me a little bit more than $100 extra, around $100 extra to get in as compared to PSE. So this is going to be priced slightly above the PSE in Australia. I'm going to guess around $900 in Australia, where the equivalent PSE is going to be about $820. So maybe this is $920. It's going to be around that sort of price, so a little bit above $900. But at that price point, this is still a very, very interesting bow to look at. Now, the speeds that are published on this bow, it's published at 350 feet per second. Now, if this bow shoots 350, that would be so impressive, because the Epics from PSE only shoots 340 feet per second, and we reviewed that bow yesterday. So I'm very interested on that. Now, the overall finish of this bow looks really, really good. This is a 65 pound bow. I've wound it down to 60. I'm going to guess it was set at 29 inches because that's what it says on the tag, and I haven't adjusted it from when I pulled out the box. So now some quick points that I want to point out. This here, these limb pivots, they're held in by two Allen keys either side. Now, you'll see here it's kind of pointing forward I kind of want to loosen this off and pull that back to center. You can see down the bottom here. So this clearly pivots for the shooting. Now I don't know if this has been tightened up too tight or what, and I haven't loosened it off. So maybe by the end of this review I will, and so see how it goes. Now Obsession archery, the draw length is adjustable by the 2 screws here. That Torx there and there. You don't need a bow press to do it. The other Obsessions are modular based. The Turmoil and this bow use the same type of cams. This is a module system to rotate the modules to change draw length. The other Obsession bows, you need to buy modules to adjust the draw length. So in my opinion, I really like this for the beginner archer and the novice archer. Even for an advanced archer, I like rotating modules because you can just play with it. You don't have to go and buy a module and find a module to change it. So I really like that. I'm going to be interested to see if this bow shoots 350. So first off, let's look at the grip. The grip itself, it's a narrower grip than the PSE Epics. It's comfortable. How does it feel compared to? It feels narrower than a Hoyt. It's quite a narrow grip. With the Hoyts, you've got a little ridge here which digs into your thumb. You don't have that on the Obsession. It's a very comfortable grip. The bow itself looks top class. The balance on the bow, that's with my hand open. It's perfectly balanced, so this thing should shoot great. And like I said, I haven't shot this bow, so overall, this looks pretty good. So let's have a draw. And I haven't drawn this bow. Let's have a draw and let's see what it sort of feels like. Oh, I'm going to say this is a bit funny here. I'm not sure why they've done this. So generally on the back of the riser, I'm just going to spin this around here. So on the back of the riser, this is generally flat, that point there, and here they've dug it in. So you can see here it digs back around. There's got to be a reason for that. I don't know if that's for the drop away RRS or what, but there's clearly a reason. I don't know what it is, because normally that is square and you put your whisker biscuit smack up against it and it locks in place. With this, you've got to pull the whisker biscuit back. So that's a little bit different. So sorry, my pin knobs came off. Right, let's try the draw cycle on this. 350. If this shoots 350, I'll be extremely surprised. For a 350 feet per second bow, this is going to be a very aggressive draw. Now, I shoot 60 pound every day of the week, so I'm going to be really interested to see what this draw's like. I just shot the Epics yesterday. Like I said, that was an easy draw cycle. So let's see what this is like. So I'm going to say it probably starts off easier than the Epics, but then it's building up. So here it's easy, building up, building up, building up, building up, building up, starting to drop off there. There's virtually no valley. I'm going to let this down. You can see it like grab. Now a lot of the bows, I'm going to pick Elite for this, it drops straight into a valley. This is not the case with this. You really can't feel it dropping in. It does drop in. There's virtually no valley once you get there. And it's not the big valley of the Epics where it's 90% let off. This bow is easier to let down. Like, it does hurt your shoulder a little bit letting it down, but it's an easy enough bow to let down. Something you get back here and they don't want to let down because you're holding so little weight. This is easy to let down. So the grip itself feels comfortable. The draw stop is solid. I'm going to shoot this shot. There's no vibration. It bow feels fantastic to shoot. I cannot see this bow being faster than the Epics. I cannot. The draw cycle is too good to be a 350 feet per second bow, in my opinion. It's too quiet. I haven't put through the chronograph, so it could prove me completely wrong. But this bow is too quiet. There's not enough vibration for a 350 feet per second bow. Now the 350 feet per second bows I've shot, you can tell that 350, they're aggressive, they're like racing a race car. This is not like that. This is This feels gentle to me. So let's shoot this over the chronograph and let's see what sort of speed we get. So I'm going, check the video. I think with the Epics I got, sorry, let's put the right arrow in. So I'm going to shoot gold tip arrows, the same ones I shoot in all my tests. These are gold tip velocity 400 with a 90 grain point. I think they come in at 327 grains. Now the Epics, I'm pretty sure shot about 300 or 310. About 300 I think it shot. I'm pretty sure it's 300. And that was a 340 feet per second bow. So this is, if this is a 350, it will shoot 310. I'm guessing 300. And I don't even think it feels as fast as the Epics to shoot. So I don't think it builds up as quick at the start. The valley is shorter than the Epic, so I'm gonna guess 295. .302. So this shot exactly the same speed as the Epics. Now it's priced at the same as the PSE Epics. So I think Obsession had priced this bow exactly where they needed to price it. And now what you're going to compare is you're going to say, well, is this bow better than the Epics, and for what reason? Is it better or worse than the PSE Epics? And for everyone who goes, why are you always comparing to PSE? I know the PSE brand very well. Bear would have an equivalent bow, which I don't know and I haven't shot yet. Elite do not have a bow at this price point. Hoyt's bow at this price point is not even comparable. I mean, it shoots at 320 feet per second, and it's got, a cast riser, and it's just not even a comparable bow at this price point. Mission, I don't think is comparable. I think this bow, the Bear, whichever the model of the Bear is, and the PSE would be the comparable bows at this price point, which you compare against one another, in my opinion. So let's just shoot one more. .303. So I'm going to say it's fractionally faster than the PSE, 1 feet per second. So it's definitely not a 350 feet per second bow, unless it's IBO speeds are at 70 pounds at 30 inches. So unless this bow becomes extremely aggressive at the 30-inch mark, unless they did something where it's got no valley at the 30 inches, so they've moved the draw stops to change that. To me, this is not a 350 feet per second bow. It's about a 342 feet per second bow. Now, even if that's the case, okay, so let's not talk about IBO speeds. Let's just say this is a 342 feet per second bow as opposed to a 350. This is still a bow to look at because it does have the metal limb pockets. It's got the rotating modules like a PSE. It's got a machine riser like the PSE. It's got a fusion paint finish, which makes it very, very attractive bow. It's slightly lighter than the PSE. Now, what areas does the PSE exceed this in? The PSE does have the ability to fit a two-piece quiver, which this bow does not. PSE is a brand name, so it's supported by a big company. This is a smaller company. So there's going to be a lot more Epics sold than the Obsession HB33. So it's really like a big car company versus a little car company. But this to me is a bow worth considering. I really like it. It's just for those couple shots I've had. I think the draw cycle reminds me more of the Epics from 2018. It's a hybrid cam, so it's got a yoke at the top and a single cam down the bottom. Twin draw stops, twin limb stops. So that's pretty much what the Epics had for 2018. But like I said, this still has a machine limb pocket, which is good. Fusion process on the paint, which is good. And I'm going to say with the Obsession dealers in America, I asked the Obsession dealers about the warranty on Obsession, how they went, how many breakages did they have, and they got back to me and they said they have very little problems with Obsession. and they would fully regard the company as top notch. So now me, I didn't sell a lot of Obsessions in 2018. I did sell some, and I had no problems. But it's not like I'm comparing Obsession to PSE, where I sell 2,000 PSEs and I sell a handful of Obsessions, because it's not a fair comparison. And the Obsessions are generally sell at top end, and the PSE sells, you know, a lot down the bottom end, you know, a lot to beginners. So that's the bulk of the target. But this to me is a very, very interesting bow. So let's go back and shoot this at 18 meters, and let's see how it shoots and how I shoot with it. I think this bow should shoot great. I really do. It feels great. There's no vibration. The draw cycle's solid. Not as much let off in the back, so I think they'll probably help me in the aiming process, because that's what I'm used to for target shooting. Now for a hunter, that's something you've got to decide. Do I want the 90% or what this is? I think this is probably 70%, 75% let off. It's almost more of a target anchor. When you hold it, I find it very comfortable. So let's go and shoot some shots and see how it goes. We're here at 18 meters. We're going to shoot the Obsession HB33 at 18 meters. Now I've sighted this bow in. Now just in my sighting process, I found the bow wasn't quite as steady as the PSE Epics, which I shot yesterday. I found my sight pin was wobbling around a little bit. Now whether that's due to the fact that I just had dinner or that I've just worked all day, I don't know, but it definitely moves around more. So I'm going to expect my group to be a little bit bigger than with the PSE Epics. Whether it is or isn't, we'll see. Because, you know, like I said, I shot the drive. I think last week my practice end was really bad, and then my actual group was really good. So we'll see how it goes. The shot itself is good. There's no vibration. The module did come loose here in the practice. I shot about 8 arrows practice to sight this bow in, and the module came loose. So I'm going to guess that Obsession do not fit like the Loctite adhesive to the nut. So it's something you might want to consider if you're shooting this bow, because I'm going to guess that module is going to come loose on you. So it may not, but just, you know, just put a dot with that little blue Loctite stuff on it, or the red Loctite stuff, the stuff where you can get it off if it's not permanent, basically, so you can adjust it. So let's see how we go with it. The bow itself feels good. I'm going to say the draw cycle is not quite as good as the PSE, but the bow is a little bit faster. It does have the metal limb pockets, and it does have the fusion paint finish. So and one thing that's helping is with the PSE, when I shot that, this little cord was right where I was aiming, so it's not the case with this bow, so that's good. I've got no idea where these arrows are going, so. But the bow feels really good to shoot. It's a nice shooting bow, and if you're looking at a mid-price bow, this would be one I would want to have a shot with. Now obviously the other bow to compare this to is the Obsession Turmoil, which is $100 more expensive. And I've got no idea why you'd want to buy the Turmoil over this bow, because has the same cam system. There may be some specs different. To me, at $100 cheaper, I'd be going for this all day, but I'd have to re-look at the Turmoil to see what the difference is. So have a look at it and see what the difference is, because to me, unless it's got a lower mount stabilizer hole or something better about it, you just spend the $100 less and go for this. Now I remember shooting the Turmoil, and I really liked it when I shot it, and this bow is very much like that. I like this bow. But definitely my sight pin is moving around the whole gold, where on the Epics it was just hovering around the 10. So I did shoot 3 8s with the Epics when I shot it, out of 10 odd arrows, 10 maybe 12 arrows. But this is nice and quiet, there's no noise, there's no vibration when you shoot it. I don't know the difference in price between the metal limb pockets and the plastic limb pockets. I think PSE should have metal. And I think Obsession have done well to put the metal limb pockets on this. So I finally get a slight wobble like that. I'm exaggerating it. It's a slight little wobble left to right. But it's not bad. Like it's a nice bow to shoot. Actually, I'm going to be interested in how many people shoot both bows, the Epics and this, and how many people select one over the other. I've got a feeling people will select the Epics because of the higher let off and slightly smoother draw cycle. But the paint finish and the metal limb pockets may tip a few people, I'm guessing. Look, that felt nice, they're quiet. Let's go down and see where those arrows are. Right, so I'm up here at the target. I've shot 2 8s. Now those 8s are not as bad as the 8s I shot with the PSE Epics. And this is a good group. I mean, you know, look at that. Those arrows there, they're basically all 10s in the middle. 2 highs. I can get my fingers around them all. Look, it's probably a better group than I shot with the Epics. Except for those 2 top ones, all the rest would be in the middle. And that's with a basic 5-pin side and a whisker biscuit. Now the bow did not feel as good to aim as the Epics. But with this bow I'm holding back 65 or 70% let off. And I think that favors me a little bit as a target archer because it's more like the target bow I shoot. So I'm getting more tension in the shot. So I think it's making the bow a little bit more forgiving to shoot than the Epics with the 90% let off. But the 90% let off, it just feels a lot easier to aim. But the results are here and you can't argue with those results. That's pretty much as good as I've shot. I mean 2 8s high, but it's not bad, and they're not bad 8s. So, and the rest of those arrows are good. Now for an indoor score, that would be a big score with a basic whisker biscuit and a $30 sight. No peep sight. So pretty happy with that. I think Obsession have done well. I'd really like to try adjusting this, and I'll do it on camera. I don't know if you're meant to loosen this off before you adjust the poundage. There's probably an instruction manual which I don't read. Now for me to adjust this, I'm going to guess I'm going to have to put it on a bow press. It clearly did not affect the way the bow shot. So I'm going to guess I'm going to have to put this on a bow press to fix that up. That's It's a bit of a bugger. I don't know if it was like that before I did the adjustment. It was literally 2 turns off. I don't think 2 turns would have made that much difference. So I've got to fix that up, which is a bit disappointing. I'd obviously like Loctite on the screws, but overall this is a really nice bow at a really good price. I think price point wise, the Obsession HB33 is one of the best value bows on the market at its price point. It's nice and light, it's relatively fast, so it's definitely in the faster echelons at that price point. And it's nice and light, the grip's nice, and the finish is good. So I think overall Obsession has hit a goal with this bow, and I expect them to sell quite a few of these bows for 2019. So if you're not an Obsession dealer or you're a customer, check this bow out and see what you think of it. Bear in mind these things here. So for me to fix this, I'm going to have to put this on a bow press, take the strings off, decompress the limbs, fix this, put this straight, then put it all back together. So that's a bit of a disappointment to me, but it is what it is. I mean, you know, your shop should fix it up for you. But overall quite nice. The cam's a nice smooth cam, but you're going to have to check out whether you want the 90% let off or the, you know, this is about 75. I think things I'd like changed about this bow, I'd like some sort of marking on the bow to say what poundage it is. I'd like a specs chart to say what the module represents, what draw length. I think that's about all I'd probably want on the bow. So information specs to say what the draw length and all that is on this bow. Just a little sticker. And I'd probably be happy, probably a little tag for the shop so they can write the price and some specs on this bow, like IPO speeds, axle speed, so when customers walk through the shop they can flick a tag. Would be nice to see on this bow. But overall, it's a nice shooting bow. It's well worth having a shot with. I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. The more you shoot, the better you'll shoot, and just enjoy it while you're doing it. It's no use stressing about it and just hating the sport and all the rest of it. Just enjoy the shots. I enjoyed those shots, and now I'll go out and shoot some arrows with the compound aura recurve tonight because it's nice and cool. Thanks for watching. Bye.